Today in the Quadratec Academy, we're doing a 3-liter EcoDiesel oil change. Hey, Rob here for Quadratec.com. Welcome to another edition of the Quadratec Academy where we cover tips and tricks for working on, maintaining, and wrenching on your Jeep vehicle. Today, we've got a bit of routine maintenance for our 3-liter EcoDiesel equipped Wrangler here in the shop. I'm going to walk you through the steps on completing an oil change on your diesel equipped Wrangler or Gladiator. Now, if you've owned another Wrangler, maybe a JK or a JL in the past with that 3.6 liter Pentastar V6 or maybe the 2-liter turbo, the oil change specifications for the diesel are a little bit different, so we're going to cover those today. I'm going to run through all of the tools required to do this job as well as all of the parts needed to do this job. I'm going to put those down in the description below so you can find a complete list that you can reference there as you're completing your own oil change. And the great thing about doing an oil change on your Wrangler or Gladiator is that it's one of the easiest things you can do to help prolong the life of your engine to keep it running at its peak optimal level of performance. And with a Wrangler or a Gladiator, it's really easy to do this job. Now, the Jeep we have in the shop here, Matt's AV equipped Wrangler here that we've put the suspension on and some bigger wheels and tires. We've got plenty of ground clearance under this Jeep, but even a stock Wrangler or Gladiator still gives you plenty of ground clearance that you can easily slide under it to reach the drain bolt on the bottom of the oil pan without the need of a vehicle lift or really even jack stands or a vehicle ramp. You can do this job right in your garage or your driveway without really the need for any specialized tools. So if we dive right into the tools required here, of course, we are going to need a drain pan to catch that used oil. Now, this is very important with the 3-liter EcoDiesel engine. It's got a pretty high capacity for oil. It actually will hold 9 quarts of oil. So we need a pan that's going to be large enough to catch all of that used oil. It can be a pan, a bucket, really whatever you can fit under your Jeep. Of course, a nice wide mouth funnel is going to come in handy at getting that new oil back into the engine when we're finished up, as well as some gloves to keep our hands protected. And of course, some shop towels or rags to have on hand are always good when you're completing an oil change. Now, for our tool list, you only need a couple of items. We've got a couple ratchets here on the table. You're going to need a 13mm socket to loosen and remove the oil pan drain bolt to let that old oil drain out. You're also going to need a 27mm socket. I know this is a pretty large socket, and that's really just to get our oil filter housing cap removed along with that filter. I've also got a long extension here on the table. It's just going to make it easier to reach the oil filter down low in the engine bay. Of course, these look like very large tools. We actually don't need a lot of strength to get that cap off, but when you're working with a 27mm socket, well, chances are you're probably going to be working with a 1/2-inch drive ratchet. Now, one of the other pieces of important information you can have is your very own owner's manual that came with your Wrangler, with your Gladiator. This is going to be the best reference material for you to ensure that you're completing your oil change to your specific vehicle and engine specifications. We've got some very specific specifications in there for our oil that have to meet Chrysler MS 12991 specification. Chrysler does recommend Pennzoil here, or Fiat, for our 3-liter EcoDiesel. We actually got this Pennzoil oil right from the dealership. They've also got some other instructions for items that you can check and inspect during your oil change, things like rotating your tires, checking your washer fluid, your coolant levels. We're not really going to worry about those in today's video. Those are pretty simple tasks that I'm sure you guys at home can handle. We're really just going to focus on our oil change. Again, we've got our 9 quarts of oil ready to go. We've also got that brand new Mopar oil filter and cap. Now, if you've owned, as I mentioned earlier, a JL or a JK Wrangler in the past, this cap and filter are separate on the 3.6 liter Pentastar V6. Not so with our 3-liter EcoDiesel. It actually is one complete assembly. This filter remains in that filter housing cap. So when you remove the old one, you're not going to separate them. You're going to chuck them both into the appropriate disposal facilities for a used engine oil filter. And your new Mopar will come with the new cap as well as the filter already installed. Of course, like I mentioned, I've got the part numbers listed down below, so you can easily pick one of those up right here at Quadratec.com. One of the other pieces of routine maintenance that they do specify in your owner's manual to do with the EcoDiesel engine specifically is to go ahead and drain your water separating fuel filter that is equipped on this Wrangler or Gladiator, and that's going to be located down in between the frame rails. We'll get back to that a little bit later, but for now we can go ahead and get started with our oil change. Of course, the first step is to go ahead, pop the hood on your Jeep, and we can remove the oil fill cap. At that point, we can go ahead and move down underneath of our Jeep, grabbing that 13mm socket. We can start to loosen up that drain bolt. Of course, you're going to want to make sure that you've got your drain pan in place and your hands protected with some gloves as well as some eye protection. You definitely don't want to splash any used oil in your eyes while you're working. Once we go ahead and have that opened up, we can allow that fluid to drain. And while it's draining, we can move back up under the hood of our Jeep. We can grab that 27mm socket along with our extension and socket wrench so that we can loosen the oil filter cap. Once you have it loosened, we can set down the wrench and simply remove the cap along with the filter by hand. Now, it is very important to have some rags on hand because you will drip some used oil as you remove that filter. Now, at this point, we can bring it over to our table. It helps to have it sitting up so you don't drip any more oil on your table. We can grab that new filter and cap here, and it's a good idea to go ahead and lubricate the O-rings on both the filter and the cap with some fresh oil. I like to do this because it's going to ensure that those O-rings don't snag or pinch when we're installing them. We're going to get a nice leak-proof seal when we reinstall that new filter and filter cap. Now we can go ahead and drop in our new filter and cap, and you're going to want to tighten that to the specification right here on the lid of the cap. It says 25 Newton meters. And I'm going to tell you that's a pretty low torque specification. We don't really need to break out the torque wrench for this. Go ahead and snug it down. Hand tight should be plenty good to prevent any oil leaks there. Remember, this is a plastic cap. We don't want to over tighten it, potentially cracking that cap, which could cause some leaks. Now at this point, our oil should be finished draining. We can move back under the Jeep, grab that 13mm socket, wipe down the oil pan and reinstall that bolt. Again, just like with our oil filter cap, this drain bolt doesn't need to be running there with an impact gun. We're simply going to tighten this down by hand. Using a 3/8" drive ratchet, snug it up by hand should be plenty good to prevent any chance of oil leaks. We're ready to go ahead and fill our engine with some fresh oil at this point. Now, the fill plug is a pretty wide mouth on it, but I like to eliminate any chance of spilling oil on top of the engine here. So a nice wide mouth funnel is going to make that job of filling it up that much easier. Now, we're going to be filling our engine with 9 quarts of SAE 5W40. Again, that meets that Chrysler MS 12991 specification, and our Pennzoil 5W40 here meets the bill perfectly. So we're going to go ahead, crack that open, and go ahead and fill the engine up with 9 quarts of fresh oil. All right, well, with 9 quarts of fresh oil in our engine, we'll want to make sure that we verify that we're at the appropriate level of oil. We can do that by removing the dipstick. You want to use a rag or a shop towel to go ahead and wipe the dipstick off as you pull it out. Reinsert the dipstick, ensuring that it's fully seated all the way down into the oil pan. We can pull it back out one more time and verify the appropriate level of oil is indicated here on the bottom of the dipstick. Now again, you'll want to do this after you've started the engine and let it come up to operating temperature. We can double check that level, and if we need to add a little bit more oil, we can do so at that time. We can go ahead and remove our funnel, reinstall our filler cap here, of course. And then the last piece of doing an oil change on a 3-liter EcoDiesel engine is to make sure that we drain that fuel water separating filter, which is unique to the EcoDiesel platform. It's located just inside of the driver's side frame rail under the vehicle. I'm going to put our Jeep up on the lift so I can show you that procedure a little bit easier. But again, just like the rest of the oil change, you can do this task just as easy on the driveway or on the garage floor right at home. So with the Jeep up in the air, I can show you the location of that fuel water separating filter that is unique to the diesel platform. It's located right here, just inside the frame rail, right about the back of your driver's side front door. Now there's normally a skid plate protecting this filter here. You can complete this procedure without removing the skid plate. There is access at the side, back, and bottom here. However, it's a little easier. It's only 3 10mm bolts to go ahead and remove that skid plate to give us a little bit better access. Now you will be replacing this fuel and water separating filter at every other oil change. So if this is one of your oil changes that does not require the change of your filter, you simply need to complete these steps to drain the filter. We have a small petcock valve and a drain right here on the bottom of the filter housing, and we can just go ahead and place a suitable container underneath to catch some of this diesel fuel and water that's going to drain out. Of course, you're going to want to make sure that you definitely have eye protection on here. You don't want to get any diesel fuel into your eyes. Protect your hands as well. We can go ahead and open up this petcock valve, and as we twist it open counterclockwise, we'll see that we get some fuel and some water start to drain out of the bottom of the housing here. Now, it is very important that you do complete this procedure within 10 minutes of the engine running. Jeep specifies that time limit to ensure that you've got fuel in the lines and everything is going to drain properly. At this point, we can go ahead, once we see some clean diesel fuel draining from the housing, we can close that petcock by twisting it clockwise again. Again, we can do this, it's all finger tight. Once we've got that closed up, grab yourself a shop towel or rag, wipe off the bottom of that drain. And at this point, we can go ahead and reinstall that skid plate with the 3 10mm bolts. Again, if this was every other oil change, you'd simply be using a socket to remove this housing and replace that filter entirely. You can look forward to a video where I show you how to do that in the near future when it's time for Matt's next oil change. Of course, the last thing to do whenever you're doing an oil change is to go ahead and reset the oil change life indicator on your dash. That's a very easy procedure. You'll simply put the ignition into the on position by touching the start button twice. Once the dash cluster runs through the startup procedure, you can toggle down to the second frame and then over until you find the oil life indicator message. Go ahead and hold that OK button to reset the oil life to 100% so that's ready to let you know the next time you need an oil change. Now, the last step, minus checking all of your fluids and potentially rotating your tires on an oil change with an EcoDiesel equipped Wrangler or Gladiator, is to ensure that you've topped off your DEF tank. I'm going to show you guys how to do that in a separate Quadratec Academy video. You can find out more information about that by clicking the info button to watch that video. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead, get this skid plate back on Matt's fuel and water separating filter housing and wrap up the rest of the procedures on our oil change today. If you guys have any comments or questions at all about how to complete an oil change on your 3-liter EcoDiesel equipped JL Wrangler or JT Gladiator, you can always leave those for me down in the comment section below or contact us directly at any of the options on the screen. Again, I'm going to leave all of the tools needed and parts required for this job down in the description below, so they're very easy to find for you guys. Until next time, I'm Rob. I'll see you guys out on the trail.